Hey y'all, it's Chris from Frontsite. I was watching a video today from HLC, or Habitual Line Crosser, for those of you who know who I'm talking about, and he started talking about all the mass shootings that were going on all across the country in the last several weeks, since the Charlie Kirk shooting or assassination. And I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about the Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War and his speech to the senior leaders of the United States military. So first about HLC. Been a huge fan of his content for a while. A lot of those guys from the Unsubscribed podcast and all the other guys, from Brendan Herrera to Angry Cops, Fat Electrician, all those guys. All those guys are hilarious. I love watching their stuff. And when I was watching his video today, I was taken back because he finally started saying, talking about how it takes guns and violence to stop that kind of threat, to stop that kind of evil. Evil is everywhere. And at the end of the day, the only real way to stop somebody from being violent or to stop somebody from enacting an evil on other people is to enact violence on the other people's behalf, right? To defend other people by using violence. Gun-free zones are a problem. Gun-free zones are where 99% of the shooters, the mass shooting incidents, happen. So how do we stop mass shooting incidents from happening in those areas in the United States? By having no gun-free zones, right? If the bad guy knows that the people in this location often carry firearms, then they are less likely to go in there and do something stupid, right? Let's face it. So we need to make sure that wherever we can, if you are of sound mind and body, and you are certified and qualified, trained and proficient in using a firearm, you should be carrying that firearm. Again, abide by your local laws, right? I'm not asking anyone to just pick up a gun and start carrying it. You have to be legally carrying, and you have to be trained and proficient with that firearm. Don't go out there, buy a gun and say, I'm good. No, man. You need to actually go out there and train, okay? That's the first thing. So the second thing I want to talk about today is SecDef, Pete Hegseth. Secretary Hegseth talked or spoke to the senior officers, and he might have had, command sergeant major and all that there as well. But there's a lot of generals, admirals, and so forth from all the branches of service in the meeting at Quantico. And he got to address them all. And in that address, he talked about how the military is no longer going to be that social experiment that it has always kind of been. And having been in the military for 14 years, I have seen firsthand how paying more attention to or subscribing to any kind of social experiment can really deteriorate the readiness of any unit. And that's a problem. The military was created to break stuff, kill people, and stop violent people from taking over countries or whatever, right? Here to defend our country, but also project power and stop violence and evil across the world. It's not something that we wanted to do. It's just something that we just happen to kind of do after a while because we are the most powerful nation on the planet. Always has been, or always have been, hopefully always will be. But he discussed a lot of different things, and one of those things was obviously the name change from Secretary of Defense, or the Department of Defense, right, to the Department of War. And that has to happen, and let me explain why. When you have any type of culture shift, when you're trying to change a culture, you really need to give people a fresh slate, and you need to give them a reason to drive towards that mission goal that you have. So the first thing you want to do is obviously change the culture in the military to be more of a warrior mindset. How do we become more and more proficient at breaking stuff, killing the enemy, and securing peace for ourselves and other nations? Well, we do that by training hard, ensuring we have the best, brightest, and most capable in certain leadership positions or in certain positions in general. If, like the Secretary of Defense said, if you are fat, we don't want you. We want you to get in shape. And we want you to make sure that you are trained and proficient in your warrior tasks and drills, comes from somewhere, and that you're able to do what you need to do on the battlefield. That's it. That's the goal of the military. So I really appreciate how they kind of are changing direction, and they're making sure that everyone from top to bottom, left to right, are all adhering to the same standards. We're getting back to the basics. We're getting back to what it means to be a soldier. And I've always said, you can ask anybody I've ever talked to about it, I love being a soldier. 14 years of it, love it. I've disliked the Army at some points, right? But I think now with the direction we're going, we're gonna like being soldiers again. Again, that's never really changed for me. I've always enjoyed it. I love being with the troops. I love training. I love helping them and leading them, and carrying out our mission, especially as artillerymen. Um, but a lot of times, especially when I was battery commander, we got a lot of stuff that come down that sometimes would distract from mission readiness. So I'm glad to see that we're taking a step forward to really refocus on the important stuff. So that being said, Secretary, I appreciate it, sir. Looking forward to seeing how this military really turns around, especially with the looming dangers all across the globe. I'm really looking forward to seeing how we can remake the military to be the most lethal fighting force on this planet. All right, so the last thing I wanted to mention was earlier in the video I talked about being trained and proficient with a firearm, and not just going out and buying one and saying we're good, right? Well, the reason I bring that up is because Frontsite was designed specifically for people who, everyone that has never shot a gun before, to those that are trained and proficient. It's designed for you to do two different things. One, help you find whatever it is you're looking for in that community, right? If you're looking for a good place to buy a gun, you can find it on Frontsite. If you're looking for a good place to buy gear, you can find it on Frontsite. If you're looking for a good place to work on your firearm, or someone that can really, like a gunsmith, or they can fix and repair or replace parts for you, you can find it on Frontsite. If you're looking for a group or an organization to train you to be more proficient with said firearm, you can find them on Frontsite. If you're really just looking for a good weekend, like go fishing, like chartered fishing, or if you're looking for a place to go hunting, I mean, 'tis the season, go out and go hunting and, get some property or find someone with property that rents it out. You can find all that on Frontsite. That is there specifically for you to look through. It's just basically a Google business search, and you're going to find it on Frontsite. The other half of that is that social media. If you're looking to have good, wholesome conversations with people, disagreements are fine. You can have disagreements, but let's make sure we keep it cordial. Let's make sure we keep it professional, and we can talk to each other and discuss what's the best firearm, what's the best caliber, what's the whatever you want to talk about. If you want to post pictures of your latest kill with your 12-point buck, God bless you. Or if you want to show pictures of your 15-inch red that you caught in Shim Creek or wherever you catch them down here in Charleston, good on you. Do that. If you want to show pictures of your guns, like you're building a new rifle, or you're working on a pistol, and you added some parts, and you're looking for some suggestions, or you just want to show the pictures off, and good on you. Put it out there. I want that on the app. That way, you can always just push that information out there. You can ask questions, and people can answer you. They can comment on your post, and all of it's right there on Frontsite. So if you're looking to be one of the early adopters, if you're looking to be one of the people, the 2 or 3% of the community that is the early adopter, the people that think forward and really step into things and take chances, go to https:// all that nonsense. Go to app.frontsiteapp.com. Right? It's app.frontsiteapp.com. That is the web version of our app. That's going to do everything that the app version is going to do when that comes out, but it's doing it now. It gets you the opportunity to get on there, start posting some stuff, start using the search engine. If you are a business owner and you want to get a vendor page on there and start posting, you can request access to that. Send me that link that you send me the request and say, hey, I want to post. This is my business and this is what I want to do. I'll go on there, check you out, and approve it. Right? Super easy. Do it now before we get hundreds of thousands of people on there, and you can be the first one on the app really posting some stuff. So get on there. Go to https:// all that stuff. app.frontsiteapp.com. That's app.frontsiteapp.com. Get on there and start posting. So I mentioned this before, I do got some new merch on the website, right? If you go to frontsiteapp.com, you can go to store or merch store. I think it might just be called store. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a long week. You can go to the store and you can check out our merch, hats, t-shirts. Again, this is one of the newer ones. It's the quarter zip, long sleeve, and it's got Frontsite on the front, and on the back of it, it has our icon. So you can go on the store, check it out, and help support the business, help support the app, and get yourself some cool merch. Well, that about does it for me for today. If you do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Let your friends know we're out here trying to just make a go of it and get the word out about Frontsite. I am still going to SHOT Show. I haven't really talked much about that recently, but we are going to SHOT Show. We got a table right across from Timney Triggers. It's going to be awesome. First floor Venetian. It's going to be super cool. I'm really looking forward to that. That's in January out in Las Vegas, Nevada. So looking forward to that. Still working on the team, working on the logistics behind getting everyone out there, and also who we're going to go reach out to when we get there, right? And who's going to work the table, and kind of move that around a little bit. Been working on, as a business owner, you never really think, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. You never really think you're getting into things you haven't done in, 31 years, like sewing. So I'm working on some of those neck lanyard pouches for the expo stuff, and so working on some of that, doing some sewing, broke up my wife's old sewing machine. It's been interesting, but I'm getting the hang of it. Again, it's been 31 years since I've touched a sewing machine before. So working on that. I'm going to show you all that when it gets done. I might post some stuff on Instagram or wherever. So do me a favor, again, like I said, like and subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Check out my other videos. Push them out to your friends and family that might be interested in firearms or might be interested in guns, and might also be interested in looking at using Frontsite in the future. So I appreciate it, y'all. See you on the next one. Welcome to the revolution. Welcome to Frontsite.